Unmute myself. Gotta unmute myself before I start talking. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back, man. Another episode, LGR Live, Monday Night Hoops, man. Really appreciate everybody for joining us. Guys, if you can, man, comment below, tag some people, share the stream, help us continue to grow this platform for our girls. Coach Kendrick, man, appreciate you for joining us, man. How's your night going?
Man, it's going. Just trying to be like you, man. We got some good weather up here. It's been raining forever and a day up here. So finally got some sunshine and some cool weather. So just trying to chill out.
I love it, bro. I love it, man. No better time for Louisiana basketball. Girls basketball just around the whole state's really good right now with LSU, South Carolina coming up on Sunday. Week from there, we're gonna follow that in the day after one of the biggest games in LSU that I can recall as far as a regular season. We'll be starting off the playoff pairing. So playoffs start next week. For those that don't know, been hiding underneath a rock. The brackets will be officially released 1 week from today. So they're normally released, quote unquote, around lunchtime, but that normally ends up taking a little bit of time with a couple of controversies that normally happen back and forth. So they normally release them around 1, 2 o'clock. We'll definitely jump on next Monday and kind of go through our official bracketology. But we didn't want to waste this week not talking about it. A lot of big matchups kind of on the horizon with district implications on the line. Talked to a couple people that were in tiebreakers. It seems like what a lot of people are doing is their rule is that they're going to go to whoever has the highest power ranking at the time. So if it's a 2-way, 3-way tie, they're not going to play that game on Saturday. It seems like everyone's kind of going to defer to whoever has the highest power ranking at that time on LHSA, Go Preps, whatever it is. You'll get the point and the tiebreaker. It's kind of late in the season to be playing a game on Saturday. I think they can still play if they want to, but I think what's going to happen, you're going to see a lot of teams are just going to defer to whoever has the higher power ranking. So, for example, Acadiana, Barb, Lafayette, 3-way tie, I think they'll just defer to the higher power ranking. But just kind of put that on everybody's radar. Nonetheless, man, let's go ahead and jump into it. Again, guys, y'all comment below. Let us know if there's any big-time matchups. I got some notes of a couple. Scotlandville versus Liberty. That's going to be February 10th. That's going to be for the district title. Let's see some other ones. Bruley, West Feliciana will be February 7th. So that's tomorrow. That's going to be a really good matchup. That should be for the district title, or at least a tie of it. I think that's the only two I got right off top. I know Denham and Dutchtown play. I believe that game is tomorrow as well. Will also have a lot of implications on who sits where in that Division One. So it's a lot of interesting matchups coming up, man. I don't think it's as set in stone as we may think it is with the rankings and stuff like that as far as who's going to be where. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into it. So let's get into the first things first. We're looking at the districts again, guys. Y'all comment below if y'all have any information on who you think is going to be kind of the favorite of each district here. I'll run through who I think is going to end up getting these district points, and we'll kind of keep it moving here. District 1 5A, of course, we talked about that last week. That's Parkway. District 2 5A, Ash looks like they're going to get that PowerPoint after they beat Pineville. They got another, believe, a matchup coming up this week that can kind of lock it in. That'll be a huge point for them. We'll see where they're sitting at. Barb is probably going to come away with a 3-5-8 district point because of their power ranking. Scotlandville is going to play Liberty for the district title. That'll be February 10th. Walker, of course, win their district. Ponchatoula, East St. John, Chalmette has already won their district, and John Curtis has already won their district. Got anything else you want to add, Coach Kendrick? Class 5A?
Nah, man.
4A?
That's Class 5A. Let's keep it rolling.
Cool, man. We're just going to kind of touch base on these districts just so, again, we're kind of keeping on everybody's radar what's going on with the district point. That's not included into the Go Prep rankings. If you're looking at those or the LHSA rankings, that won't come out until Saturday, I believe, or maybe even Sunday, where they'll kind of start updating it daily with the LHSA. Huntington's going to win that district, correct? District 1 4A?
Correct. Yeah, it's already locked up.
Huntington's won that district. Peabody's won their district. LaGrange will win their district. LCA will win that district. On down the line, don't know who's going to win that district. See if you can check that one out. 5-4A. That's Opelousas and
5-4A.
such. Yeah, try to see if you can find that one. 6-4A is going to be a little interesting again. Brewerly took a loss. Some stuff going down. Don't have their coach right now, so they took a loss to Plaquemine. Actually, they'll actually play West Feliciana tomorrow. Brewerly travels to West Feliciana. So West Feliciana, like we talked about, are they for real? They've been getting the wins, getting it done. They'll play for a district title and a chance to really climb up the power rankings if West Feliciana can come away with that one. 7-4A is going to come down to Ellender and Vanderbilt Catholic. I think that game is this week as well. Anybody in the comments, y'all can let us know when that game is. That'll have district implications on there as well. So a lot of these games that are for the district title, you of course get the full PowerPoint boost, but you're also going to get a boost, probably 2.2 to 0.4 of beating a good team, right? So it's really worth, these games are worth 1.5, somewhere around there. And
Yeah.
where go ahead.
No. You're absolutely right. They're gonna get that boost. Like you're saying, like you were just gonna say, beating a really good team in these matchups that we're talking about, and then getting that full PowerPoint that is, you can see you'd be sitting at 10 and maybe jump up to 6 or 5. You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? So Bro Bridge has already got that district 5-4A already wrapped up.
Okay, so yeah, anybody that's watching, when we get down to that 4A or the Division 2 non-select, keep us posted and remind us that Bro Bridge is definitely going to be a lot higher. Archbishop Hannon, I believe, is going to be the one that's going to come away with the win in the next district. Oh no, I'm sorry, they're 6-4. This district is wide open. Looks like Lakeshore is 7-3. Salmon's actually 8-3. LaRange is 7-2. So that district's going to come down to the wire. Again, all those teams are in the 7 to 15 range. Whoever comes away with the 8-4A district title is definitely going to jump up. De La Salle's rocking and rolling. They're probably going to win that district title. Belle Chase is going to be another team to keep an eye on. That'll make a huge jump with a full PowerPoint as a weaker division 10-4A. And then cap it off, 11-4A. Like we talked about, Ben Franklin took down Warren Easton early in the season. So they will likely come away with that one. But yeah, man, let's go ahead and jump into it. Division 1, man, I'll let you take it away. Top half, Division 1 select side. A lot of teams stay the same, but there's still some movement around. What's your thoughts here in Division 1?
Well, man, I think this division here is going to be top heavy, real top heavy. With this division, I think, as we were talking before we came on air, this division here is going to dictate the key to watch. The thing to watch with this district is where does Ponchatoula fall.
Yep.
That's going to be the key of this division. Walker, Parkway, Barb, Zachary going to be top 4. And then, where does Punchy fall in the mix?
Yeah, and I mean, kind of what is going to be a telltale sign of that. Denham Springs plays at versus Dutchtown tomorrow. If Denham falls on that game, Ponchatoula's obviously going to jump them. If Denham wins that game, Dutchtown is 20-10. That's a huge PowerPoint win for them. Ponchatoula does play John Curtis. So Ponchatoula is going to get the PowerPoint where Denham's not. Right now they are 1.05 behind them. So a lot's going to lay on the line of that Denham versus Dutchtown game and who's going to kind of fall where, to your point. Guys that are watching, man, I really appreciate everybody. If y'all can comment below, let us know where you're from, who you're rooting for, who you're supporting. Comment any big time matchups that you guys got coming up. Like we said, there's a lot of playoff implication district titles on the line that can really move some things back and forth. Who's some dark horses that you like here? We'll kind of flip it to the bottom as well in Division 1.
Well, you're flipping it to the bottom, so it's already that bottom.
We go back up to the top.
No. You go ahead. Go back to the bottom. I just really think that 15-18 game is going to be very interesting. That 1-5A district is very brutal every night, and Ben and Halton already played twice, and then have to play first round. Woo! It's gonna be hectic, and then you don't get any better. That's Bossier. That's the Bossier part of the district, and then have to go just right up the road to play Parkway. That's not a good seating for those Mary Ward or Coach Jenna Bowling.
And then you look in the quarters, you could have played Natchitoches Central if you're
Correct.
any of those. So, yeah, District 1-5A is just all over that part of the bracket for sure.
Correct. So but and we talk about where Punchy's gonna go. I don't know. I've been watching East St. John. I the team that we played in the second round last year, you think they probably would brought most of their stars back. Doesn't look like they've had you know what I mean. I thought they would have been top 5 in this district. I mean, this division.
Who's that you talking about? My bad. I was looking at the comment.
East St. John. East St.
Yeah,
John.
so East St. John is definitely somebody I want to kind of talk about, touch on. They were, whenever we started doing this, they were in the 17 to 18 range,
Correct.
believe it or not. And, they're really on a huge run here. When you look at their schedule, they've only lost one game, and that was to Thibodaux, where they kind of slipped up there. They're on a huge win streak. The last time that they lost before that was before Christmas. So I mean, they're really rocking and rolling right now. They're gonna come up with 2 more wins, so they'll end up with a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12-game win streak heading into the playoffs. So I think that's a huge run for them. I think that'll definitely have them playing at the spot they want to be at. East St. John versus Ponchatoula in the second round would be a huge matchup. I think East St. John, Ponchatoula, Barbe, those 3 teams are pretty close to each other. I could see either one of those 3. If the brackets were to go exactly how it is now, that would be a really interesting quarterfinals. See who could come out of that area.
Yeah, because that's going to be a battle, Ponchatoula, East St. John in the second round, and then the winner, your take home is to go play Barbe the next round. Whew, yeah, good luck with that. You know what I mean?
For sure. Chris, Vanderbilt Catholic plays at Eleanor. Where's that game actually going to be at? I don't think Eleanor has their gym yet. So that's going to be interesting. Once we get to the next division, Vanderbilt Catholic playing at Eleanor. Eleanor is playing well. Did take a huge loss to John Curtis, but if they can find a way to defend, I guess you can call it home court. I know they don't have their gym yet, but not playing at Vanderbilt Catholic. If they can find a way to win that game, that would be huge for them in the power ranking. So we'll kind of get to that. Any more big-time matchups, guys? Got some North Shore fans. Where is Sandoval? Sandoval actually fell one spot this time. You see Sandoval? Where are they at?
I don't. Not on this. They must be in the top half.
Sandoval is 9th. Let's look at them real quick. So Sandoval draws Live Oak in the first round, but then they turn around. They'll play Mandeville. That's a good draw for them. That game could really go either way. Sandoval lost to Denham by 6 last week, so that was a tough loss. Denham at 23-2 could have really jumped them up. The comment there says they have Walker tomorrow night, so it's gonna be another tough draw. Let's kind of see how they finish out the season. I like Sandoval. I like kind of what they do. Be interesting to see. They would definitely want to avoid Walker. That matchup with them in the quarters. If they can avoid that, I mean, I can see Sandoval making some noise. Who else here? I still like Hahnville. I think Hahnville there at the 12 seed. Southside's been so up and down. Southside could upset them in the first round, but whoever kind of gets through that first round could definitely give Denham a run for their money, and then turn around you play at Zachary quarterfinals. I think that would be kind of the only way we would see a double-digit seed. Somewhere from that 12 to 21 range in the quarterfinals. What's your thoughts, man? You see any other, I guess, dark horses?
No, not. I think that the dark horses here are down in the bottom part of it, with East St. John and those Chalmette. Don't forget about Chalmette sitting there at 10.
Yep, and I mean Chalmette is going to end up getting that full PowerPoint, so they could actually jump up to the 8-9 range. Which honestly, if I'm Chalmette, I don't know if I want to. I kind of want to stay
Correct.
away from Walker.
Correct.
I like where I'm at with the 9-10. Maybe if I get all the way up to 7 and jump past, kind of flip flop with Nathan Central. But the 8-9 is a tough draw because you gotta have to play Walker in the
You got to play Walker in
quarterfinals.
the quarters, and it's just going to be important. How bad does these coaches want that first round bye? Remember, we said a couple weeks ago, the first round bye may not be a good thing. And if I'm a coach, I don't think I really want to sit a whole week. You play the last game is Friday, the brackets drop on Monday, the first round is on a Thursday. I don't play again until a whole nother Monday.
Yes,
Ugh.
yeah. So let's look at that. That's a good point. So let's say Ponchatoula sneaks
Top 8.
into the top
Oh yeah,
four somehow.
yeah, yeah.
Let's say they get the 4 seed, right? So their
Mm-hmm.
last game I'm looking at it is this Friday. So like
Correct.
to your point, brackets were released on Monday. First game will be on the what is that, the
Third,
16th?
16th. Correct.
Yep. So they'll as a team they'll watch that game. Sure, you kind of get out whatever, but you're not playing, right? So then you go again. You got to wait all the way until the 20th, which is
10 days.
10 full days from playing. And that team that you're playing
It's just got through
is
playing.
has won a game. You know what I'm saying? So they're
Correct.
not only are they playing, but they've won a game. So that's definitely something to keep an eye on, especially if you're having to play like Dutchtown. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see Dutchtown winning a game and then playing Barb and Barb sitting for 10 days. That's scary. Like to your
That's
point.
scary, man. That
Parkway's
I don't
another
think I
one.
would want to. I don't think I want to be that first round bye. You know what I mean? So
Definitely something you got to talk about. Thibodeau Airline, whoever wins that game would have to go to play Zachary. Zachary sitting for 10 days. That's definitely for sure something to kind of keep an eye on, especially Zachary having so many young guards. So definitely something to keep an eye on, man, for sure. Matthew with the shout out for
oh,
tomorrow, putting Walker on upset alert. I like it, man. I like
Earth Cell alert.
I like it. Let's jump into Division One on the select side. John Curtis came away with a huge win. They took care of Ellender, so they're rocking and rolling, still in the top half there. What's some teams that you like here in the top half of this bracket, or even the bottom half here? Who's some teams you like in Division One?
Well, man, I don't think we talked enough about them, but Scotlandville. They're sitting there at 4 right now. It's going to be, we're talking on John Curtis does going to be what John Curtis is going to be. Lafayette's going to be what Lafayette's going to be, especially if they got that girl back, the volleyball girl. And then you got I don't know who's 3 right now. But you get what I'm saying.
Yep.
I think we're not talking about Scotlandville enough. And maybe they've gotten it rock and roll, and they just quietly went about their business and got to the 4 spot. I'm talking about the top half right now.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, Scotlandville, they've got Zachary tomorrow, big time matchup. I believe that's a rematch from the EBR tournament where Zachary, I think they failed to So 4-point game last time. Scotlandville came away with a win. So rematch, 4-point game last time. It can kind of go either way. Then they turn around and had to play Labor Day again on Friday for the district title. So both those teams are huge PowerPoint wins. Can give them an opportunity to even climb even higher and possibly jump St. Thomas More, because St. Thomas More is not going to get that PowerPoint win, that full point. So if Scotlandville comes away with 2 huge wins and they get the PowerPoint, I can actually see them jumping a full 2 points and getting up there either right at St. Thomas More or passing them up. I like Scotlandville as well. I think Scotlandville, your 4 teams, in my opinion, that are a little bit above everybody is John Curtis, still is John Curtis, Lafayette, like Mr. Paul is saying right here, got everyone healthy. I think they took some bumps and bruises really early in the season, but those kids, Narcisse, Johnson, Paul, everybody that was playing along with the role players helps them with their depth. I think they even have depth now. They can go through some some foul trouble or whatnot and still come out with a win. Adding Blackwell, of course, is huge. They could arguably be the favorite, and I wouldn't disagree
I
with
would
anything there.
I was just talking to someone the other day, and we were looking at the brackets, and we were going through it, and I said, I think Lafayette's the favorite here. With Blackwell back, man, it's scary. I saw him third round quarterfinals last year, and it was no joke. At Lafayette, man, it's a different beast to go play at. That crowd was rocking and rolling. And, they've been there before. They're hungry. Unfinished business is their motto this year, and they're trying to get back to him.
Yep, for sure. And still Huntington at the 6th seed. I think they'll end up jumping Warren Easton. They could even jump Scotlandville if Scotlandville does fall. So you can see Huntington getting all the way up to the 4, maybe even the 3. So I still think with the guards win games mentality, Huntington is definitely a scary team. As far as once you get down to the double-digit seeds, I've been kind of saying it the whole time. Liberty, man. Liberty is not a team I would count out. They were 12, 13, 14 whenever we started this. I remember we were doing the division rankings. We were like, are we sure we want to put them in there at 10? Like our rankings, not the PowerPoints. And, they kind of proved that they deserve to be in the spot.
Man, and I'm going to go back to what you were just saying about Huntington and Scotlandville and Warren Easton. You're absolutely right. If Huntington will get that full point, and if Scotlandville so happen don't beat Liberty for the district title on Friday, right? You said they're playing on Friday, right?
Yeah.
If they don't beat Liberty, then, Huntington can jump all the way to 4.
Yep.
That's crazy.
It's really wide open, too, because St. Thomas More is not going to get the point. So it's still wide open. I like this division, how it's shaking up. And, again, I'm thankful that we are not – back to the old ways, where this division would be a lot more spread out. The way we have it now, where it's split 5-5, it's just some good matchups, man, all the way through. Dominican can kind of compete with anybody. That's a tough quarterfinal game for really any of these teams. They've got 2 kids that will be going off to play college. One of them's already signed D3. One of them has opportunities. I'm not sure if she's going to play, but you have 2 guards, 2 seasoned seniors that are going to have the opportunity to play at the next level. Like, I don't really want to see them in the quarterfinals. Like, that's tough matchups. Again, you can see Liberty in the quarterfinals. They've been to the state championship. Kids on that team have played for state championships, have won state championships. Like, this is going to be some interesting quarterfinal games for sure.
I can tell you right now, the one game quarterfinal game, if it comes down to, it just looks like it's just going to depend on who's the 4, who's the 5, Huntington, Scotlandville. If that thing is here in Shreveport, Scotlandville has to come up because Huntington, takes the 4. Ooh, that's going to be a nasty quarterfinal game.
Yep.
Scotlandville, Huntington at Huntington, or Scotlandville, Huntington at Scotlandville. Whew.
That's going to be fun. That's what it's all about, man. That's the ones you remember whenever you're like, you better get there early. Like,
exactly.
I remember very vividly when I was in high school going to a St. Aug versus Scotlandville game on the boys' side, and I got there 30 minutes, and I was literally the last person they let in the door. Like, you can see some games like that this year on the girls' side, especially in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
I love it. Man, something that's sticking out to me again with this division and these brackets on this side, you talked about it already, was the buys. So if we're looking at these here, you're going to have Woodlawn and Baton Rouge where they can win a game and then they go and play Huntington. Like the 6th seed gets a bye here. 7th seed gets a bye here. 8th seed gets a bye. Acadiana could win a game, then they go to Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin hasn't played for 11 to 14 days. Like, what's some upsets that you could possibly see? I think the 7, 8, 6 seed, like to your point before, is in really big trouble, and that's got to be a message you've got to drive home.
You got to drive home with those seeds. On that bottom half though, Karen Crow, Karen Crow, and you looking at it, if Woodlawn, Baton Rouge can come to Shreveport and upset a Huntington, you get what I'm saying? Yep. If in Karen Crow, you got, can they beat St. Thomas More? After, I don't know when St. Thomas More's last game gonna be, but you get what I'm saying. I know the height and the size, and I don't think they lost any that Karen Crow has. You see what I'm saying? Can St. Thomas More match that after being off at least 10 days? You know what I
Yep.
mean? So
I mean, if I'm coaches and I'm looking at it right now, and I'm one of those top 8 teams, I'm already driving that message to my team, especially if I'm on the select side. Like
we doing some inner squad, we doing some whatever.
that, and it was crazy. Is I did have a coach reach out to me today. These guys that get this bye, they can actually set a game up against somebody else that has a bye. So somebody with a top 8 seed here, like a John Curtis, could play somebody in the select Division 2, or you can really play anybody across wherever you want. Probably don't want to play somebody that's in your division. So a John Curtis could play in LCA, knowing that they're going to have 2 lighter games. John Curtis could play De La Salle. De La Salle is likely going to get a bye. They're right next to each other. So that's something else that can kind of be on everybody's radar, where you can just play a game, not sit around. Like you said, that's probably something we're going to see a lot more of this year, with having so many buys on both sides. Very good point, though. Guys, comment below. Appreciate everybody for watching. Drop any games that you guys have coming up this week. Big time matchups, big time playoff implication games or district titles on the line. Let us know where those are at. Keep us posted. Give us your thoughts as well, man, as we go to your division. If you have any information you want to share, share that. Comment below. The more people we can get commenting, the more people we can get involved, the better. So we really appreciate everybody for joining us. Appreciate everybody for commenting. Division or Class 3A district titles. Let's see here. Actually, for some reason, lost my 3A. You got any
I got your 3A right here.
Who's gonna win? So District 1 3A is gonna be Waspin. Who else we got? Waspin's gonna win that one. Mm-hmm. Bolton has dropped a few games actually, so that's an interesting one to me there. Who else is in that division?
Let me see. Let me go back to that division. You said Bolton, right?
Yep. Albany A-Meet, they tied. I think that's going to go to whoever has the highest power ranking. I don't think they'll.
And right now, Albany has the highest power, even though, and I was looking at that before we came on air. As we were coming on air, that's going to be interesting in the power ranking because Albany is 46.59 and A-Meet is just 42.50. So Rose Pine has jumped A-Meet because of the loss to Albany. And I was just thinking is that if Albany ends up not getting that point, Wiseman's going to be the 1 seed.
Yep. So again, Albany's probably going to fight for that point. Again, that's where it gets a little political as it comes down to the wire. Albany could honestly just defer to A-Meet if it helps A-Meet a little bit more. But I think what you're going to see is a lot of people are going to go to that power ranking system. So yeah, to that point, I think Albany is the one that comes away with that one.
Correct.
The South Beauregard district is interesting. That Bunky's 6-2 in their district. Buckeye 6-2. Bolton's 4-4 now. They dropped a few games. Not sure what's going on there. So it looks like either Buckeye or Bunky's going to come away with that district. That one's going to be, let's see, it's going to be a tie. So I guess it's going to come down to whoever can finish it out. They don't drop a game, or I go back to that coin flip. I mean the either coin flip or the PowerPoint ranking. So
correct. And Church Point's going to win the 4-3A one. The way it's looking right now, Church Point's they're tied with Iota right now. And both of them.
This 2A, 3A, these once you get to these little districts, because there's so much crossover, it's crazy how much this is going to impact the power rankings. Because like we talked about, A-Meet and Albany are in the same district, but they're playing in different divisions, and they're both on the select side. So there's so much split between a bigger 3A school to a smaller 3A school, and how much that gets kind of split up. But yeah, like Coach Tracy's saying there, like they may play a tiebreaker on Saturday, so not 100% sure on who has what. In it goes down to each district and what each district decides they want to do. So if the district, it's in their bylaws that you're going to play the game, they would play it. If the coaches don't want to play it because of fear of injury or something like that, they could go to a coin toss. I think what a lot of people are doing is they're going to the highest power ranking, gets the whatever it is. So it's very interesting. The question here is, do you
Yeah.
feel that because divisions are having more teams that we should have 32 teams like on the other side
Oh,
instead of 24,
well,
28? What's your thoughts?
my thoughts is a good question. I was just going to tell you, let's talk about that. I think when you cut it down to 24 and 28, it's all about winning. And some teams we've seen in the past where teams have losing records
Yeah.
and have no business in the playoffs at 30 at 28, 29, 30, and it's just a wasted bus trip to go get swacked by 40. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So this system takes the best of the best. I believe it puts the onus on the coaches to go schedule. You can't now just, I'm going to get me 20 cupcake wins. No, you have to schedule. And you got to know the formula and know how to play it. And you just can't beat a 0-5 team and 0-15 team and say, I got to win and I'm going to the playoffs. No, you got to go play the competition.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, I like the top four teams that get a bye. I think that's kind of intriguing. I think eight might be a little bit too much.
Too much. Too
Like
much.
the
Exactly.
point here is no buys. That way you don't have to wait a week to play. That's actually a really good point because I mean I didn't really think about it until we got to this point here. To where honestly the 8 seed gets a bye, they have to wait a whole week, and then the 9 seed, who is only one spot behind you, plays a game, and you know that's makes that game very interesting. Of course, as the bye, you get the opportunity to go scout that team live in person, watch the game. I think the kids and the coaches can get a lot out of that, so that is an advantage. But man, not playing for 12 days or whatever is very tricky. Do you call up if you're John Curtis, do you call up LCA and play a game? I don't know if you want to get into that big of a matchup. If you're De La Salle, do you want to play John Curtis or whatever? Like, I don't know if you want to get into those dog fights during your 10-day break either. So it's going to be
Right.
interesting to see who does what and how it benefits who. Like, I don't know the answer, and I don't think we will know the answer until maybe after a couple of seasons of this. But let's jump into Division 2, man. Like you talked about, Wasserman could jump Auburn if they don't get that full point. What kind of sticks out to you so far in this division here, Division 2 select? I mean non-select.
It's going to be interesting what happens with Bruisley now. It's going to be interesting. Do they fall a little bit? Do they maintain? Does Lagrange jump them? You get what I'm saying? So
Yep.
If Lagrange gets into that 4 seed, talking to him, he'll take whoever once he gets to Hammond. You know what I
Yep.
mean? But you know what I mean. But to get to that 4 seed and everybody has to come to you, I think he'll take it. You know what I
Yep.
mean?
I agree. I mean, shout out to South Bow. South Bow was kind of on the outside looking in the quarters. Now they're looking at a home game in the quarterfinals. I think they've kind of locked that up with some big wins here lately. So South Bow is kind of the team that I think has positioned themselves the best. The rest of it's going to kind of figure out what happens with the Brewery situation. Unfortunately, what's going on there. But I mean, West Feliciana, man. West Feliciana is now coming out of, are they for real? To they get a full PowerPoint win. They could beat Brewery, who has 25 wins on the season. West Feliciana could jump all the way up to the 4 seed. And then you can see a West Feliciana versus Lagrange quarterfinal game. I think that's what's going to happen no matter how the cookie crumbles, I guess. I think we'll see a 4-5 West Feliciana versus Lagrange, which should be a really good game. And whoever wins that game is gonna definitely can tip their hat to both those coaches at position their team to have a great season.
Correct.
I think both those coaches have done a phenomenal job just to even see where they're at here, like looking at this thing in general. Regardless if either one of those teams don't make it to the top 28, I think for them both to be fighting for a home game for the quarterfinals or to be that 5 seed, both teams, both coaches, hats off to those guys, man. They've had a great
Let's.
season.
I
Whoever
I
wins,
talk
wins, man.
exactly, and I talked to him, man, when they came up to the Parkway tournament. we went out, got to sit out with his team. We covered that game, Bim Parkway, and went out, sit with his team, and had dinner with him, man. And when I saw Lagrange fight and put up a fight with Parkway first halfish, man, I knew it was something special about that team. Then they really gave it, and I told him that day, and I told the girls, if you put up that fight the rest of the season, you can make it to Hammond, and they've proven me right.
Yep, absolutely, man. Shout out to both of those programs. And someone commented, give the seeds 1 through 4 an option to play if they want to. So that is the option right now. I think it's so new, especially on the public school side. Some coaches or programs, families, whatever, may not know that you can play. But for example, the John Curtis of the world, like we have had the option to play them, or they could play somebody else because you used to get a double bye. So they used to could go 15 days without playing a game, so they're kind of looking for games to play. So those teams that have a bye do have an option that they can play somebody else in any division that has a bye. So you may see some of that kind of come down. But what's some teams, I guess, that you like in here to kind of make a run? We keep talking about Carroll and Larange. I mean, that game could really go either way with Mayan back. What's some other teams here? I know we talked about Carroll. We talked about Ellender a lot. Any other teams kind of stand out to you that could make a deep run?
Well, of course, South Bow. South Bow is gonna put themselves, like you said earlier, they put themselves in great position to kind of make a deep run there. But the double seeds, man, it's tough. I haven't really seen many of those double seeds play. Elner would be the one you think if they can get out of that 15 seed and get away from possibly Wasman in the second round. Maybe they gotten everybody back healthy and whatnot. Maybe they can make a run at the 14. You know what I mean? But not at that 15. not having the 15. If they could get possibly the 14 where Bro Bridge is now, you could see Elner in the quarterfinals, possibly in the semis.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Elner's got a big game versus Vanham Catholic. If they win that game, they could jump. I mean, you're looking at 2 points. They could jump as high as 13, somewhere around there.
Correct.
So that's a very good point. I like Iota. Iota doing a good job over there. I think they're back healthy. They're probably a team that we have not talked about that I think could scare some people. They're at the 13 seed. I could see them getting even higher. Plaquemine took down Bruley. So shout out to Plaquemine. That was a huge win for them. And I think you see how much they were rewarded with a win over Bruley, with a team that has 25 wins. Plaquemine jumped from the teens all the way up to 10 spots. So Plaquemine, Iota is probably 2 teams that we haven't talked about, in my opinion. Question coming in: what happens if there's a 3-way district tie? So again, it goes back to whatever the quote-unquote bylaws are for that district. Each district is different. It used to be like you could play, you could do a coin toss, but I think what a lot of teams are going to go to, and what I would imagine that district has, is whoever has the highest power ranking. So if it's a 3-way tie between Zachary, Scotlandville, and Liberty, let's see, Zachary currently has 43.1. Scotlandville has 40, and Liberty has 38. So as it were to stand right now, if the district was over a 3-way tie, Zachary would get that point. In my opinion, I don't know what their bylaws are, but if I had to guess, that's what I would guess. Would a bye week game be like a scrimmage or actual game? So it'd be an actual full game, 4 quarters, referees, all that good stuff. It just wouldn't count towards power rankings or anything like that. So that's a great question there by Mr. Paul. If you do see some scheduling coming on, and randomly Lafayette's playing somebody else, Lafayette could play like, I don't know, they could play Bruley, LaGrande, somebody like that. I think both teams would kind of benefit from that. It would be a full game, 4 quarters, referees. But whoever wins doesn't matter. Whoever loses doesn't matter. Both teams just kind of trying to get a run in. Anything else, man, you got on this division here?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I think time well spent on that division.
Great point right there. by Mr. Greenhouse there. It's going to be exactly like a Hall of Fame game. Exactly. These are small. All right, Division Two. Select side. Go ahead, take it away for us, man. Who you got here?
LCA has been there all year long. Peabody, they've come on real strong here. I like them. I know you said that you liked them a lot. You know, I can easily see a LCA versus Peabody in the semis there. Um, yeah, that's where I got right there.
What about some? When we're looking at some upsets, man. What's some upsets you may could see in this top half? Again,
Northside.
I like Archbishop Hannon, man. I really like what they're doing. I like what coach is doing over there. But
Well,
again, man, when you're having to sit out for 12, 14 days and turn around and play Buckeye like in the second round, that is not
tough.
a very good spot, especially for a team
Right.
that doesn't have a ton of playoff experience. And that's a program that they're building over there. It's going to take them a little bit of time. I think it might be a name or a team that you do see more often down the line. Kind of probably a surprise to a lot of people that they're fighting for a bye in this division, which is hats off to them. But man, you
How
get
does
that
that
bye, and you got to wait and play.
how does that guy stack up this year, man? I seen him a couple times. Didn't see him late in the season this year at Madison Prep. They're at 21 right now. Dwayne does a good job coaching. I know this is kind of a down year for him this year, but how do they stack up?
They're struggling, man. If they can maybe get some people back, but they just struggling overall, man. Fighting in some games, like they played Doral to a 8-point game. Doral's done a good job of scheduling. They're winning some games as well. Southern Lab was a 20-point game, so it kind of tells you kind of where they're at. Glen Oaks, I do kind of like them. That was an 18-point game. You just got to get healthy, get as many people back as possible. But I think Prep's going to be around that low 20s, mid 20s. Honestly, this division is not that deep for them not to be able to win a game in that first round. I could see that.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm with you on that one.
Bottom half, man. De La Salle, man. Shout out to Coach Mike and what he's doing over there. De La Salle's rallied the troops. We talked about it before. They were a little banged up to kind of start the season. They actually started the season out 1-4, right? And then now you fast forward, and since then they are 19-8. So shout out to them and what they've done. Rallied off a bunch of wins here late. Did lose to Phoenix, which is kind of surprising. But they got a couple more games. They'll come away with a district title there. So I think De La Salle is a team that can make it to the quarterfinals. Who's some other teams that you like here on the bottom half?
Listen, man. We've talked about them before. I know you said they lost a couple games here, and I don't know why. But St. Louis having to play Bolton, maybe perhaps in the second round, may be a tough matchup. You know what I mean?
Yep. And again, hats off to St. Louis. Paris Guillory, the numbers she's putting up is just phenomenal. When it comes down to playoff time, look for that kid to take it to a whole nother level. I think she's taking it to another level here in district. They went and beat South Bow. Huge win. We're talking about how good South Bow's playing. That was South Bow's last loss. Came away with a 3-point win. That was huge for them. St. Louis just doesn't have the depth that they've had in the past. They still have kids that have played and have won state titles. So I think when it comes down to playoff time, let's call her playoff P. I think playoff P is going to take it to another level, man. I wouldn't be surprised if St. Louis, is the ones that's trying to take down LCA here. St. Louis has been on the block, Vanderbilt Catholic, new kids on the block. That's going to be a great semifinal game I could see. Anybody else that you could see against upset alert? Let's see.
I think it would probably be more on the bottom side if you flip that one.
This is the bottom side here. This is the top there.
Oh, this is the bottom. Oh, okay, my bad. So, yeah. So.
St. Louis versus Vanderbilt Catholic would definitely be a great game, man. That'd be fun. I think you talk about Peabody. Peabody Northside could go either way, man. Again, both those coaches have put in so much time into their programs. Whoever it is, Peabody or Northside, hats off. They both had great seasons. They'll probably meet up in the quarterfinals for a chance at the top 28. Whichever one of those teams make it to the top 28 is going to be a great season, historic. Whoever loses still had a great season, but man, that's going to really allow that program to take it to the next level. As Peabody Northside are definitely doing great jobs with their program. That's it. That's gonna be interesting for sure. Jumping into the next division, you talked about it a little bit, man. You want to talk about Rose Pine as they have jumped a meet here?
Yeah, I didn't see this. I didn't see this one coming. Roseheim being the 1 seed, I didn't. But they're definitely gonna. They've overtaken Holy Menard for their district, so they'll get that. I think they have enough to stay at the 1 seed. And I think Coach Kelly will love that. You know what I mean? But again, playing Mansfield second round, it's gonna be tough. I think I don't know if they played or not. I know they played this summer at my deal, and I think it was a very, very good game. And I know both teams has gotten better since the summer. So Union Parish in that 4. Winfield
Yeah.
could make some.
When's Union Parish play Wassman? They played that game. Wassman won 6-20. So that kind of tells you a little bit about Union Parish.
Correct.
They've
And
lost They've lost 2 games in a row now.
They've
lost
what I was
to
just.
Wassman and Sterlington.
And I know you like Springfield, right? Yeah, and
Yeah,
I know you're ready Springfield. I don't know I haven't seen them personally. I've seen Winfield at 12. You know what I mean? Maybe you've seen Winfield on film. Can Winfield possibly upset Springfield? I'm not sure.
I don't know, man. It'd definitely be interesting. So, I mean, possibly. I think it's going to be Springfield. Just is. I like them so much because they are so versatile. They match up with so many. They have a guard that's good. They have these are like seniors and upperclassmen. They have a guard that's good. They have a guard that can come off the bench that's pretty good. They have a forward that's can play back to the basket. They have a forward that can take it off the bounce. Like Springfield is not going to shock me if they make it to the top 28. Springfield actually plays. So this is that district that's very interesting. Springfield, St. Thomas Aquinas, and French Settlement. So that's going to be interesting. Springfield beat St. Thomas Aquinas, so they're currently leading that district. But then they play French Settlement on the 9th. So they'll play on that Thursday for either outright district champion or a possible 3-way tie. So if they're outright district champion, Springfield could jump. They could flip flop with French Settlement, and they could jump as high as 3. So that's going to be a very interesting game to kind of keep an eye on as far as the power rankings down the line. Let's see. Let's flip over to the bottom side. Sterlington. So Sterlington beat Union Parish. So that's something to keep an eye on as they're in the same district, although they're a couple behind them. So kind of puts Union Parish a little bit on upset alert. Who's some other teams here at the bottom Sterlington at 7. I got them twice. Avoyelles is supposed to be 7. So Sterlington at 6 is going to be interesting. They'll play right now French Settlement in the quarters.
I don't see anybody upsetting A Meat at the bottom.
Definitely not.
Yeah, I don't see anybody upsetting A Meat at the bottom. I don't know. I know Doll. They went on a championship run a couple years back. I don't know what they have to be able to at the 14 seed to get by. French Settlement. You ran it and raved about them. So I think it's gonna. I think this division. I think we may have a more chalk in this division, and we may see him meet versus Rose Pine in the final.
Yeah, for sure. And Richwood is a team that's like super high, 18, that has a post player and a guard that could give some people some problems. But like you said, you don't want to see them at that 18 spot. They can get to I don't know, because 16 goes to the other side too. So you almost kind of got to get to 14 to kind of get away from everybody. I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. Could see a couple double-digit seeds make it to the quarters. But like you said, once it gets to the Final Four, I could see chalk all the way across 1 through 4. I think French Settlement and Bo Springfield are probably the better teams. So if they can find a way to both those teams get in the 1, 2, 3, 4 spot, I think
Mm-hmm.
it could be straight chalk. Rose Pine, A-Meet, French Settlement, and Springfield to kind of figure it out. But nonetheless, man, let's go ahead and jump on to the next one. Again, guys, if y'all have any thoughts or anything, comment below, man. The more comments we have, the better. These divisions are definitely loaded. It's definitely fun to watch. I'm really excited. And we thought about taking this week off, whether it be the last week, but I'm really excited to kind of talk about it. And then next week when we get back on, it's going to be official. Get your pen and paper out and actually make your bracket with us. So we'll be able to talk for sure matchups. But nonetheless, man, let's jump into the next division. Holy Savior Menard did lose to Rose Pine, so they fell that game, but they're still at the top of this division. Again, I think this is a three-headed race here. Holy Savior, Menard, St. Thomas Aquinas, and Newman, in my opinion, are the only three teams that have a shot to really win this state championship. Other than that, I think it's going to be wide open. I think some teams can make some noise. What's some teams I guess you're kind of keeping an eye on here?
Well, Parkview Baptist there at 5. And there's your old team at Ursula sitting at 20. You know what I mean? I don't know what
they
got.
got a major injury, unfortunately, so they'll be kind of out of it whenever it comes to making a run. But
yeah, I got you. So I don't really know too much about this one. I was talking to somebody the other day about Holy Savior Menard, and they was just like, they're good. Because like, man, they came out of nowhere, and it's just like, the style of play that they've gotten this year has gotten them where they are. And if you can match their style of play, you may be able to upset them. So we'll see.
Yep, for sure. I think what the interesting thing is going to be, who can be that fourth team to make it to the top 28 whenever it comes to this? Like we're saying, Holy Savior Menard, I don't see anybody that can beat them in that part of the bracket. When we flip down to the bottom half here, I think you can see Newman cruise to this one. Sacred Heart New Orleans is doing a great job. She's playing first year there, come over from St. Martin's. She's doing a great job. I just think they're going to be a year away. But Newman's probably going to cruise there. I'm sorry. I got St. Thomas Aquinas supposed to be a 2 seed all at the bottom. I think St. Thomas Aquinas cruises. Glen Oaks, if they could get to the 6 seed, I can see them giving some people some problems. Maybe they can get to the 5 seed. They can give some more people some problems. But my question here is going to be who's going to be the fourth team to get to that top 28. And once you get to the top 28, I mean, you can just hang your hat on that as a program. That's where you hang a banner at. A lot of people really, that's about as close as you can get. Like that's the next step outside of that is win a state title. So whoever it is that makes it to the top 28 here, that 4, 5, 6, 7 spot, whatever it is going to be something to keep an eye on.
Correct.
But let's jump into. We've been on for a little while. Let's go ahead and skip the districts. We'll kind of talk about it as we go. Division 3. No, I'm sorry. This is Division 4. So we got 4 more divisions. Division 4 here. Again, White Castle still holding on strong at the number 1 seed. Do believe they got banged up a little bit. Took a injury loss. They did lose to West Feliciana. That was Friday, I believe, or is that Saturday? Saturday or Friday. West Feliciana beat them by 20. So that kind of tells you where West Feliciana is, kind of where this division is, I guess, as a whole. Still
and
wide
that's
open.
why. Yeah, that's why I've been saying, man, I think I'm going to take if it comes down to that semifinal game, or, I think I'm taking Arcadia over White Castle. You know what I mean? Arcadia's young in this area, up and coming program, man. Got some young studs that can really flat out ball. And, they're young. They're all on one campus, so they get to play 6th, 7th, 8th grade, 9th grade, you know what I mean, together. So, but they're really rocking. They're really coming on. So that's where I'm at with this division. Like you said, it's other than that, it's wide open.
Arcadia has won 11 straight games too. To your point there, they lost 1 to Gibson Coleman by 2 points. and they were on another 5-game win streak. So they're 15-1 in their last 16 games. Only lost to Gibson Coleman, which was by 2 points. So I mean, I could see Acadiana winning this thing with looking
Yeah,
at
that's what I'm
that. You know what
saying.
I'm saying? Like that would not surprise me at all. Like we talked about Oak Grove, Caroline. They're definitely a team that's going to be interesting. Oberlin has shooters. Oakdale, coach over there, is doing a great job. Like this is the division that more than really any of them is wide open. Lakeview,
Wide open.
shout out to coach. He's got his 100th career win over there.
Correct. Correct.
Lake
Coach
Arthur,
Fuller. Yeah.
yep. Lake Arthur coaches won state titles. They've been to the top 28 multiple years in a row. Homer was playing awful to start the season. Now they're rocking and rolling, so you know they're hot.
Correct.
I mean, this thing is just wide open. You can see anybody
That
coming away with a state title.
I can see a North Louisiana final here, Lakeview versus Arcadia. I can see that. You know what I mean? In this wide open thing. So Lakeview, probably Tracy's here saying a lot of sleepers in Oberlin, Oakdale, Eastbo. But don't sleep on Lake Arthur though.
For sure.
Don't sleep on Lake Arthur, man. Championship coach, she knows how to get it done though.
Yep, this one's gonna be fun to keep up with the scores and keep up with the brackets along the way. And you could really see anybody winning any matchup anywhere down the line and being like, oh, we lost at the state championship. We had them on the road. There's a 2-point game at our place in the second round. You know what I'm saying? Like the state champion could come away with multiple close games all the way down the line. It's going to be a fun division just because it's so sandwiched, right? And then again, it goes back to that PowerPoint. These teams are winning their district. You could be from a 9, like right now, if the East Everville won their district, they would go from 10 all the way up to 6, 7 range. You know, you can jump 4 or 5 spots. So definitely interesting division to keep an eye on. Let's see. Jump into the next one. Division 4 Select. We've been talking about it. Looks like it's Southern Lab versus Northwood Lena. Collision course state championship game. I've always talked about it that I really like Highland Baptist. You like Washita Christian as well coached team. Anybody else kind of in this division here that can kind of upset some teams or make some deep runs?
Oh man, you just mentioned Washita Christian. Some of the other ones there, I haven't seen them. So I don't know what they. As we go to the bottom there, I see Highland Baptist. You know what I mean? Can make a deep run. Cedar Creek, I know they win a lot of ball games. They were in the finals perhaps last year, I think, or semifinals, correct?
Finals, yep.
So you know what I mean? So you got teams like that that's been there, that's trying to get back, kind of unfinished business. But they have a tall task in front of them when it comes to Southern Lab and Northwood Lena.
I think to that point, it's gonna be some really fun quarterfinal games that this division has not had in quite some time. With it being more jam packed now than ever before, Northwood Lena would normally cruise all the way through. Southern Lab cruise all the way through. Now Northwood Lena is playing Cedar Creek in the quarters, where Cedar Creek does have that state championship same pedigree that they have as well. That's going to be more of a dogfight. Highland Baptist playing Hamilton Christian. Hamilton Christian is a program that's on the rise for sure. They're 21-4. Highland Baptist is having to play somebody that's 21-4 in the quarterfinals. It's not going to be as easy as it has been in the past to get to that top 28. So I think looking at this division, the quarterfinals is going to be something that we want to keep an eye on. Let's see, go to the other side. Southern Lab would have to play, Washita Christian had to play Central Catholic again, something, some programs that are on the rise, some programs that are known for making it to the top 28, having to play each other in the quarters. I think that's going to be fun, man. I think it's going to be some interesting quarterfinal games for sure. Let's jump into Division 5. I'm going to say the best for last. We're going to go to the select side. What's your thoughts here? Oak Hill, Jazz Clark, Family Christian, everything stayed the exact same here in this one. But what's your thoughts here? This is another interesting one where you get double buys. Oak Hill, top four teams here get double buys, so they're not going to play for hell 15 days, I guess.
Yeah, see, and that's the thing. I know this is kind of like what the committee wanted to get away from. You
Yeah,
see what I'm saying? With the whole, you go here, select, non-select. You know what I mean? But this is the one they wanted to get having these double buys, and I don't think it does justice to the kids to sit that long. You know what I mean? Here, this is one of those divisions that maybe more people get in. I don't know how many teams are in that division. I don't, you know what I mean? So
there's only
it's
16 in the whole division, so
oh wow. So you know what I mean? It goes to, do you let all 16 in? I don't know. You know what I mean? So J.S. Clark here, they've kind of gotten their footing back with their whole coaching deal. And they kind of starting to back the roll, but that's unfortunate. They were locked in at one before all that happened, and then Vols. Didn't the Vol was it the Vols Charter that got the new coach? Was it one of them that got a new coach? I can't remember.
I'm
The
not
guy that
sure.
was there. Okay, gotcha. And Family Christian and Oak Hill, like you say.
Yep. And I like the comment here. Plainview is definitely on the rise. I think Plainview is going to be well coached whenever you give these guys, gals, whoever it is, these coaches some length of time to prepare for one opponent. I think that can be the difference in some games. You know what I'm saying? So Plainview is definitely somebody I would keep an eye on. They're in a very difficult district, so I think they'll be more battle tested really than anybody. They've got Hathaway tonight, so they're playing some dogs night in, night out, kind of in their district. I think they'll be more battle tested than really anybody in this whole division. I think their record shows they're 14-17, but they're playing some of the top teams. So not somebody I would want to see in the quarterfinals if I'm another coach. I don't really want to see Plainview. Where's Plainview at right now? Playing
They're
Claiborne
five at
Christian.
the
Yeah.
five.
So I
Yeah,
mean, they could
so.
win that game, get to the top 28, and it wouldn't shock me if they were to upset the one seed, or at least give them a dogfight. So yeah, I think that's something to keep an eye on. Yeah, Plainview is the one that has a new coach. And again, like a lot of these coaches here are experienced with the double buys and stuff. I think you'll see more of the games being played from this division where these guys will try to get prepared and prepare their team for their first round or second round game by playing a common opponent. So definitely be something to keep an eye on. But man, guys, I really appreciate everybody for joining us. We'll jump into the last one again. We'll be back next Monday. We'll have the official brackets. And we'll get to go through there. Hopefully, everybody gets their pen and paper, does a little bit of bracketology with us. We'll break down each individual game, who we think is going to win each individual game, kind of go from there. But saving the best for last, man. This division is crazy loaded all the way through. Really not a ton of change, which is kind of expected. Again, these teams are playing. Fairview's played 39 games. Hathaway's played 31. Midlands they're over 30. All these teams are over 30 games already. So it's the last week's not going to move a lot. Maybe the little PowerPoint might move one or two, but these are mostly locked in. What's your thoughts, man? Division 5.
We've been saying it all year, man. This is the one. It's wide. I don't say it's wide open, but you can see some quarterfinal matchups in previous years that's going to take place in the second round. You know what I mean? So it's going to be good from the word go. This is going to be the division to watch all the way through to the finals to see who gets the Hammond and who's crowned champion. Fairview, of course. I don't know if Zawali's going to still be at 9. They had a hiccup, a major hiccup on Saturday. They lost to Southwood. Shouldn't have lost that game, but they did. But I'm gonna go with the home north, man. Gibson Coleman, Samari Sampson, Housley, man. I think I can see them making some noise here. It's gonna be tough for them. They were in the final game last year, but it's gonna be tough for them to try to get it again. But I can see them probably getting to the quarters, to the semis. Try to, can they beat Fairview in the semis? Time will tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. Seeing Midland and Hathaway both in the same district right there, That's definitely pretty cool to see. Hathaway did come away with the win, but it's tough to beat a team multiple times in a season. So it'd be interesting to see if they do match up in the playoffs. Definitely feel like Fairview and Hathaway are just a little bit better than everybody. But I will say this: their style of play and shooting a lot of threes and stuff is not always best on that southeastern campus at that the
That wide
backdrop
floor.
with depth
Right.
perception and everything else like that, running and gunning, it doesn't like that kind of opens up the door for everybody. So if you can just get to the top 28, man, it's gonna be wild. Like if you just can fight your way, find a way to get to the top 28. The Reeds, Florian Hicks, all these Anacocos, Wiley, whoever it is, you can find a way to get to the top 28. I don't think the 3 and the 4 seed, whoever it is that fights for that spot, is out of it. I think they can still kind of give Fairview and Hathaway a shot. Is Holden back healthy? I know they had lost a couple. They will probably likely end up winning that district, so they can definitely be somebody that can jump a little bit. Um, I guess where as far as the movement, the top four for the most part look to be pretty locked in. Some other people are saying there could be some more movement. So definitely. And what's cool about this one is, Phoenix, like we said, they had a huge win, beating De La Salle. So I mean, if they can beat De La Salle, they can beat some of these teams in this area as well. Phoenix is really close to some other teams. There's a lot more closeness in like groups, right? So like 8 through 12 is close, and 13 through 16 is close. So it's gonna be kind of interesting to see who gets the home game, who gets the road game, because a lot of times these teams, these cities, they come out and really support. So home games are going to be very important. Um, and a Coco beat Oak Hill tonight. That's a really big win. So that's going to boost and a Coco up, and they'll get the district points. So that's a really good win. Appreciate that. Thanks for the update. Who else? Let's see. Hathaway, Midland, Jazz Club, Bell City, Lagacy. Yeah, that's a crazy district. But yeah, man. Take a look at the bottom half here. Um, Hicks, man, at the 7 seed, that's just brutal, man. Whoever's having to come through that, facing Hicks, and I mean, who knows with Anacoco there? Anacoco is probably going to jump Hicks, so Hicks would be at the 8 seed. Um, I really like this division, man. I really do. I'm excited to kind of see what happens at the say go really from first round games. Second round games will be good, and I think this is the only division outside of maybe Division 1 non-select that has great games from the jump. Second round for sure. Well, everybody, I really appreciate everybody for joining us. Coach Kendrick, man, you want to leave us with any thoughts or anything, man? I know you got to be excited this time next week, huh?
Yeah, man. Listen, good luck to everybody in these final games this week. I know kids are really excited. Crunching and coaches are crunching the numbers at this moment, trying to see where you're gonna fall. But just go out and leave it on the court. And by this time next week, we'll be talking about where you're gonna play and what your chances of winning. But for you seniors that's having senior night this week. Congratulations on 4 years playing high school basketball. Enjoy it. Some of you that are going on to the next level, of course, but some of you, this could be it. Enjoy these last 2 games, 3 games, how many you got left, and leave it all out on the court.
Yep, absolutely, man. Really appreciate that. Appreciate everybody for joining us, guys. Again, we'll be back next Monday. Probably be a little bit longer than this one. We'll try to go through each individual matchup, kind of give our thoughts on I guess crystal ball wise who we think will win, why, and kind of go through there. But really excited. If you guys can jump on with us next week, man, we really appreciate it. Share, comment. The more people we can get involved, the better. We can continue to kind of keep this train going. We got a lot of stuff going on. Really good things going on in Louisiana girls basketball. So again, man, don't forget about Sunday night. Got South Carolina versus LSU. Huge matchup, man. Make sure you have all the girls tuned into that, man. Really, it's important for us to see support at the next level and everything like that. So Kim Morgan's got things rolling. Everybody here is joining us, man. Appreciate that for keeping it rolling. The more we can get things rolling from a college level, high school, middle school, all the way down, man, the better. So Appreciate everybody. Takes a village, man. We will see you guys next Monday night with the official brackets. And about 2 to 3 weeks left of the season, man. Until next time,
Playoff
guys.
time, baby.
Playoffs. Yes, sir.